Okay, hello and welcome. And I'm a bit behind today, so I still need to kind of set things up a bit. We definitely want the stream bot and this thing we definitely actually want running. Yep, so that's one step. And then I also want my overlay. That's another window. And this thing is run slightly differently. Yep, and then over here, yep, we should have the overlay. Perfect. So, oh, but the YouTube part is not working because I forgot to authenticate. Right. Okay, so in the meantime, as I'm doing this kind of setup-y stuff, the goal for today is kind of interesting. So last time I did a lot of work on the TTS integration, text-to-speech. Now, it turns out that this is actually a very interesting situation. So what's happening is that OBS, for their web browser overlay, they're using Chromium, yes, but they're using it through a specific library, and that particular library. Okay, my greeter bot now is going crazy, but that's fine. It should kind of calm down in a bit. Yep. Okay. So that specific library kind of needs to take each module of Chromium and re-expose the features. Now, when it comes to the text-to-speech, that specific module is in some weird state where it's kind of working, but not really. So specifically, we can make it work with Google text-to-speech, but for that one, you actually need to use the Cloud API. So that API, and my phone is going crazy because I keep saying Google. Okay, that's kind of funny. So you can use the Cloud API to basically do text-to-speech in the Google Cloud. And there's some pre-quota there, but that's something I would really like to avoid. Now, the alternative that you get inside the browser is actually the text-to-speech that's inside of Windows. So those were the voices that last time we looked at. And those would work if the module that's kind of re-exposing the text-to-speech had all the correct features. Because right now it only works with the Google Cloud text-to-speech. So that's where I stand. So I cannot make it work through the OBS browser overlay. And since that's not a possibility, I was kind of thinking like, okay, so I anyway want to get at the Windows text-to-speech API, right? Because ultimately that's what's happening. Like you have the text-to-speech that's inside of your system. On Linux, that'd be, you know, some sort of text-to-speech library or program. On Windows, this is the Windows text-to-speech, or I think it's like the speech something system. And that gets, you know, re-exposed through the browser, and then you can use it with the speech API inside of JavaScript. Well, that's kind of very. It's a lot of indirection, right? Like we don't really need to route everything through the browser and use it through JavaScript. We could as well just use the API itself. And with that kind of thought, I was like, okay, like so what's the easiest way to use this API? And this gets interesting because Windows right now is in this interesting state where it has the legacy Win API, but that one is pretty much deprecated. So this, like, think of it, this is like the typical desktop applications, up to Windows 7 era applications. And then you have this .NET stuff. So my main language is C++. I could use C++ with .NET, but there's this weird hybrid managed C++ thingy, and at that point I was like, I might as well just straight up use, C#, because that's kind of the primary language for .NET. And I looked up some tutorials online specifically for the speech API. And let me just go to the browser. There are definitely some. So let's quickly Java speech. Yeah, this thing. Can I? Okay. So this is an example of how to use it. And as you can see, like, this is a pretty short example. So again, this stream will be very exploratory today. I'm doing something I haven't done before, ever, in C#. I have not touched C# before. But from how short these snippets are, I'm reasonably confident that I will manage to make this work. Now, there are a few hitches in this plan. So first of all, to make it integrate correctly with OBS, I need to have the ability to specify the output, like what device I want this thing to be sending the sound to. I can kind of fiddle with this inside of Windows, but I would prefer to basically have, like, what do you call it? Icon in the toolbar. What is this area called? Damn it, now I don't remember. Anyway. But basically have an icon that I can right click on and say, just send your data to this device. So that's one thing that's not here, and I will, and if you kind of look at this example, what it's doing is it's creating a media element, and then through that media element, it's exporting the stream that is the speech synthesis. So it seems like the media element is the thing that's doing the audio playback. So we will definitely have a look at that. And yeah, here's like the C++ version. Yeah, I mean, it's... You can see it's more complicated, and I'm really not quite sure like why that, like, it seems like the API itself is different. Anyway, and then of course this is an example with the SSML, where you can basically annotate the text itself with like, oh, here, like, this should be slower, this should be different pitch and whatnot. So we can play with that later, but for now the goal is just, get to a thing that just does, hello world. So for that I do have the proper Visual Studio. So we will create a new project. I want a console app. Do I want a console app? Perhaps. No, actually, Windows Forms. I probably want a Windows Form app, because if I want the icon, I don't think it will allow me to do that if it's a console app. Client application, Windows Forms app. Okay, let's filter this a little bit because this is getting crazy. So I want C# on Windows desktop, I guess. Okay, so Windows Forms app. I'm not quite sure what these foundation things are. There's a .NET Core and .NET Framework. Project creating Windows service. I don't think that's what I want to do. Shared project. Okay, I think this is what I want to do. If not, then we will need to kind of course correct later. .NET Framework. Sure, I mean, whatever, that's fine. And again, my first C# application, so we will see what the heck happens. Okay, so where's my... So this is just the forms. Sure. Data sources, don't really care. Oops, didn't want to exactly close that. Okay, so here's the actual source code. So this just starts the form. Okay, so let's see. So application dot... What do we have here? Is there like icon something? Because I mean, so okay, for now, I don't have to stress about that too much. So let's just copy this first of all. So this is a thread. Is single thread and apartment. But is that the case actually? Huh. Okay. The second thing I need to look up is for our communication library, which is the 0MQ. So this thing, I want to go as documentation. So C#, engine in C# for .NET. I mean, okay, this one looks more feature complete. Oops, what the heck happened here? I guess this one is the correct, yeah. So wait, so last update February the 3rd. Okay, that isn't really building confidence in me. So what's the situation on this one? 7 days ago. Okay, yeah, then probably we probably want this one. Standard sockets interfaces. Okay. Send frame, right line, send frame. Okay. Let's have a look then. Okay, bit of a broken formatting here. Is there maybe like examples directory over here somewhere? Nope, not really. I would love some examples, because that would really help me to kind of sending multiple socket polling. And create a context, then bind it, create request socket, new polar, okay, interesting. It still works. Dealer. Okay, so this is basically using lambdas. Okay, interesting. Well, maybe then. Okay, so let's try something different first then. So new project. Let's do. There was the project types, console app. Okay. Yeah, let's just like as a test. Hello, welcome to the stream. Right now, just trying to figure out C# a little bit, but not too much. Okay. Now, one thing I need to do is somehow get this netmq actually available. Oh, cool. So you can help then. So what's like, how do I get libraries in C#? Is there like a package manager or something? Nougat, okay. Let's then, which one was it? This one, right? Can download, yeah, Nougat. Install package, sure. Package manager. Okay, so how do I actually get to this thing then? Window. Like, how do I get to the package manager over here? Command interface in Visual Studio. Yes, I would guess that there is, but how do I get to it? Tool, command line, developer PowerShell, is that the thing? This doesn't look correct. I don't know. Let's try it, maybe? It's not installed. Maybe manually download it. We do like package management to automatically download Nougat. Yes, sure. What the heck? Tools, Nougat package manager. Okay. Tools. Okay. I might be missing the like integration. Is individual components look at? No, I do have it. Okay. So, okay. Oh, come on. Ah, I'm blind. I'm straight up on the option with my mouse and I don't see it. Okay, cool. Okay. Yeah, stuff is happening. Cool. Okay. And we seem to have netmq. Okay, good. So this can go away. Right, so then let's just look at the example. There was a very basic example. Okay. Over here. Hello world. Add reference to installed library to the project. Okay, so just give me a second. I just want to copy, I guess, this thing up to here, and yeah, we will try to do something with that. Right. Okay. So to the the no, it seems it actually picked up on it. It's listed in dependencies packages over here. So yeah, maybe it's working. Cool. So are we missing something? Using no, I don't want to generate anything. Interesting. Like, it's seeing the library, but it's not really netmq. No. Oh, wait a second. This actually might be referring to the... Oh, yeah, so, okay. Yeah. That was a good lead, definitely. So there's... this thing has like 2 different versions. Yeah. So... documentation can be found over here. Ah, there's also samples, okay. Installation. What the heck? Next. Okay, so this looks a lot more reasonable. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that looks fine. Okay, so we have a client request socket. Okay, so I think now I need to do the netmq.request socket. No, it's not here. How do namespaces work over here in C#? Find versus connect. Okay, this there samples, right? Okay. So there's, yeah, these are like super old. Okay, this is not good. No, I think the version was correct. That's not really the problem. So the problem is the examples they have is for the old version of the library, which is like version 3, and what I'm using is version 4. But I mean, that should still be fine. At least this documentation should be up to date. But do they have receiving, sending, I think I wait, queue pops up. Okay, let me just scroll up. Install package netmq minus version 4.0.16, which I think if I go over to their GitHub, 4.016. Yeah, so that's up to date. Oh yeah, and sorry, I need to quickly switch to. Wait, what? Why does it not show up in auto mode? Huh, interesting. Anyway, yeah, sorry, I have auto mode set up, so it's kind of blocking stuff from time to time. Yeah. Okay. Anyway. Pump, subscribe. Okay, so this subscriber socket does this thing have subscriber socket? Oh yeah, there is a subscriber socket. Interesting. Okay, what does using our client? Okay, I'm getting the feeling that I will have slight issues. Okay, so but the connection string, right? Okay, let's go back to my, which window is it now? This one, right? So the backbone is listening on port. Yeah, let's go to the source. It's listening on, wait, this port, am I right? Let's just check that very quickly. So that would be, yeah, okay. Over here we want to connect to this port, so this should create just a listener. And actually, if I do this, technically this should be an endless loop. So just keep receiving data, receive frame string, and I guess for now, yeah, let's just print it out. So when I run this, I think it should just connect and listen to the messages that fly on the backbone of my chatbot. But let's see if that actually happens. Build succeeded. Is anything happening? Okay. interesting. So how does error handling exactly work? I see where to find. Right, but actually I need this subscriber socket anyway, because that's for the pub sub. It's in a sub library. Oh, okay. So this actually got somehow pulled in now with the subscriber socket. Okay, cool. But thanks for that info. So, okay, how does error handling work in C#? Exception handling, right. It's like a normal try catch. Yes. Okay, so let's try to do this. Now, oops. Now, if I'm interested in like catching is there like a general exception that I can just catch and just print it out? Okay, so catch, just exception, okay. Cool. So then, yeah, let's just print it out if that happens. And I guess there's like an e.message or something. Oh, there's a toString, sure. Okay. So, and I actually shouldn't have done that. Yeah, let's just put this here. Let's just keep this piece of code. Message. Right. So now, if there's actually an error happening, I should get some output at least. And if this will still not print anything, then I will be very confused. I can tell you that already. And it's not printing anything. That's fun. Cool. So client dot, do I need to explicitly call connect? I would kind of expect that if I let it know the address to connect to, it would just straight up work. But okay, let's try it this way. Maybe that's it. No, doesn't look like it. Okay, crap, I know what's the problem. Okay, how do I get around this? I think if I do localhost over here, that might work. Okay, so the problem is actually unrelated to the library or C#. It's actually, the problem is that the server is actually running in Windows subsystem for Linux. So the difference between the response socket and subscriber socket, those are like slightly different semantics. So subscriber socket is basically you are subscribed to events, and then all the subscribers get the same message if it's sent as an event. Response socket is just like one-to-one communication with the server. Okay, how do I do this? Damn it. Let's get the terminal over here. No, IP show address is no IP address show. Ah, yes, okay, that's the correct syntax. Right, so one of these, I think it's this IP. This should be accessible, I think. Okay. Oops, no. What? Why did it not copy? Okay, now it copied. Yeah, so I think those are just meant for like one-on-one communication. But okay, this will be, damn it, this will be an issue. How the heck do I make this work? Okay, so let me explain what the problem is. So the server is running in Windows subsystem for Linux. Now, the thing is, like, that's networked to my local system, but the problem is the socket is listening on localhost inside of Windows subsystem for Linux. Now, this is a like the way they did it, like the way Microsoft set this up, is super funky. You basically have two local hosts, but like there's this local host that's, you know, the normal 127.0.0.1, but I also have a local host that's on my, you know, physical machine. But damn it, there was a way. There was definitely a way to get at it. Networking WSL2. Networking is different. In any distribution, breach network. Interesting. Connecting via local network. Yeah, okay, so I mean, this should be working. Is it really that just the server is not listening on the correct IP? That could just be it. Oh, you found an example. Well, that would be cool, but you probably won't be able to post it because it will not get through the filters, I think, but you can try. Okay, so in the backbone over here, let's try to bind to 0. I have no idea if this will actually work, but let's try to bind to 000. So technically this should listen on all the, like, if this library is kind of following the basic semantics of how this usually works, this should mean listen on all the available IP addresses exposed on this machine. So let's just try to do that. So restart. Okay, let's restart like this. Yeah, so the URL didn't go through. Can you just post it without the like the bleed-in URL, like, or without the dots? Because I think that's what's stripping it over, unfortunately. And yeah, sorry for this. I really had to tighten the settings because there was a lot of spam. But maybe, can I change? Okay, I have now turned off blocking hyperlinks, so maybe now it will work. Can you try again? Okay, debug console. Okay, so this is still... Oh, still didn't go through. Damn it, what the heck? Okay, so then I'm not quite sure what's actually... Which filter would be blocking this? That's weird. Okay, yeah, that works, thanks. Damn it, I will need to ask someone who is like streaming for longer, because I really don't know which filter is actually tripping over this. So netmq dot read the docs, right? And latest, yep, and then transports, and there's an example, right? Okay, cool. Yeah, this will be helpful, thanks. But okay, back to this thing. So first of all, this seems to be working. I just need to re-authenticate YouTube again, and I will really need to figure out a better way to do this. Okay, there you go. That should be good. If I now reload the overlay, no. Wait a second. Oh, I have exceeded quota. What the heck? Well, that's annoying. Okay, then I guess let's just ignore YouTube for a bit. I'm not quite sure how I managed to exceed the quota. Like, that's very curious. But okay, so this still seems to be working. Now it should be listening on all the ports. So if I go to here and try it again with the non-localhost IP, still not working. That's interesting. I mean, I would output tab in Visual Studio. Window. All right. Okay. Console. Where's the view output? Yeah, it's just loaded stuff. Yeah, the problem, what I think is actually happening is, yeah, it's not really connecting and it's not really throwing an error. I mean, technically it should be timing out after a while, but... receive buffer... I don't really see a timeout over here. Yeah, I mean... Well, okay, so bind is for server, connect is for client. So if I would want to expose, like run a server at a port and listen to messages, that would be bind. But I just want to connect to this IP and this port. That's curious. Oh, what the heck? Let's try it with the localhost again, now that I'm listening to 000. No, I don't think anything is happening still. Client dot. Try receive. Yeah, I think what's happening, like it basically goes until the receive frame string, and that one just blocks because that one is a blocking. Yeah, I'm doing the right line over here already. It's writing to Visual Studio output. Well, yeah, I don't really see anything happening anywhere. Or what do you mean by Visual Studio output? Okay, how the heck do I connect to the... Okay, let's try this port forwarding. That actually makes total sense. I mean, it's I would prefer this to work without that, but sure. So let's create a new tunnel. I want to forward 6667. Wait, remote port forwarding. Local port. Remote server. Yes, okay. That's what I want to do. So the... Wait, but this is not... How the heck do I do it for... for WSL, because that's not really... It's not really offering me that option. Okay, so by default it's a NAT, sure. Breach mode. Site network card. Okay, so this is straight up switching it over. Okay, let's. I need to check. WSL port forwarding. This is like specific to my terminal. Port forwarding. Yeah, this is not really talking about my terminal. What the heck? Okay, I think I need to go through this thing. So ping might. Okay, that's actually good sanity check. So let's do this thing. And let's just ping. What the heck was the IP address? So IP address show was this one, right? So I mean, the weird part here is that technically, even if this is using a NAT, like the direction from, so this is working. Yeah, so I mean, in this direction it should work. So I'm really not sure. Okay, but let's look at this thing again. Remote address local port, right? So yeah, okay, so this is the 66667. So this is literally the port I want to connect on. It's listening on, well, you cannot ping with a port. I would have to telnet. But okay, so this is listening on this port just fine. Okay. Now, yeah, no worries. It's just slightly confusing because I mean, based on the output, it should just work. And I'm really not clear on why it's not happening. It's very curious because again, like the ping shows that it's accessible, right? So I mean, this should be the correct setup. Let's just do client. There should be like a try receive, right? This one isn't blocking. Attempt to receive a message for the specified amount of time. Right. Message. Time span. How does this thing work? Time span. Ticks per day. Hours, minutes, seconds. from milliseconds. Okay. Oops. That's kind of the thing I want, though. Where's my code? So time spent dot from milliseconds. Let's just do like 200 milliseconds. Okay. So wait. So this is not ref message. Okay. So they said receive buffer to 10 megabytes. Yeah, I don't know if that's relevant. So how do references then work over here? So C# var versus ref. Oops, no. Out used to passing arguments to methods as a reference type. It's generally used return multiple values. Ref is a keyword used for passing the arguments by ref. What? Okay. So it's a bit of a confusing sentence for me. Keyword is used to passing the arguments to methods as a reference type. It's generally used returns multiple values. The out parameter does not pass the property. The what? Ref is a keyword is used to passing arguments by reference, or we can say that if any changes made in this argument in the method reflects does not pass the property. Okay, sure. Not quite sure what's the difference between ref and okay. Let's do string client. Oops, no, not this part. Damn it, here. String message. And then I guess I want to do ref message over here. Cannot convert ref string to ref netmq message. So netmq dot message. Sure. I guess I don't need the first part. Oh, MSG? What the heck? Used unassigned. Like this? Okay, I'm just mostly guessing, writing these things down, but okay. So what we now can do is, if this fails, as in it times out, right? Then we can do console.writeLine timed out, and then over here else we actually have some data. So since this is an endless loop, like we should basically skip, if it's failing to connect, we should keep seeing basically periodically timed out, timed out, timed out. Var is just replacement for error passed an initialized message. Okay. So how? Okay, what the heck is this then? Well, that's pretty annoying. I have no idea what it's complaining about. Try receive. Okay, is there... If I go to the 0MQ... try receive. What the heck? No. Wait, no, that's the wrong page even. Oh, this is the correct thing I was looking at. Try receive. Receiving. Try receive. Is to receive. Okay, we can do. Wait, what? Okay, this one. Try receive frame string. Okay, let's try to do that then. So not the message. Let's just do string data, right? So now try. I guess it's still on the client. Client.try receive frame string. Try see frame string, and we want the one that has the timeout and then the string, right? So this thing goes here and out data, I guess. That's what. Yep. Okay. Sure. So if this fails, okay, making progress. Okay. And I don't have message, I have data, sure. So this should be good. Let's see what happens. Timeout. Okay. So exactly, it's failing to connect. Okay. Still no idea why, though. Okay, so it's so weird that I can. Okay, actually, let's do this. Let's try to do the port forward on this IP. So tunneling, new SSH tunnel. So let's just expose. Oh, actually, let's just for safety, let's just make it some other port. So the SSH server. Okay, and I don't think I actually. Wait. Yeah, I think it's like this. Okay, actually, yeah. This is what I want, right? I want to connect to this IP, and let's try this. No, this is failing. Local network adapter. Yeah, it should. Wait, not which one of these? The 18 one. Okay. Let's try again. No, still not. Proxy. Edit this tunnel. Damn it. I thought this would work. Okay, let's try to then switch over the let's try to switch over the network itself. Okay, so Hyper-V Manager, run as administrator. Yes, please. So then this, wait, what? State off? So actually both. So I use so the 0MQ library uses normal sockets. So it's a pretty, so it's basically a C library that's being wrapped into JavaScript. It's this one. And this I use for the PubSub setup. And then, because this thing kind of works in any language, the idea is that since all the communication, like all the important communication is done through this, basically I can plug in anything in any language, minus these networking issues, I guess. But then WebSockets I use to actually communicate with the overlay. So the thing you see up there, so that's running in the OBS overlay, and that one is using the WebSocket client. So on the other side, there needs to be a WebSocket server. Okay, so I don't think this is my WSL setup, actually. Let's see, wait a second. So where was this thing? Select your PC, open Virtual Switch Manager, workstation. Ah, Virtual Switch Manager. Oh, okay. Ah, here, perfect. So I want, do you want to connect this virtual switch to Intel con? Okay. Yes. Yes. Do not have permission. What? The what? Come again? Okay, let's try this again. So Hyper-V, run as administrator, Virtual Switch Manager, external network, Intel, apply.